Hello, everybody. This is Amandeep signing in live. Welcome to today's live session. Thank you for joining us. I have done some creativity today. So I have found a way to go live on Instagram at the same time, but it may not be so much warmth and heartfelt live for Instagram people because Instagram people, if you're watching me right now, understand, there is a phone which is close to the camera of the MacBook, of the laptop. So I can't see your comments. I don't know who is online right now, and maybe that's not the best way to do a live. But I thought, you know what? Let's give it a go today and see how it plays out. If it works out well, and if you enjoy it, then I will figure out a way, to come live on Instagram, by keeping the phone on the side. Harish is here. Good to see you, Harish. For people who are on Facebook, if you are on YouTube, then yes, I can see your comments. I can connect with you, and I can say hello to you. That's the best way to go live, by the way. I'm just giving it a test, to see how it plays out. Neeta is here. Good evening. Yes, good evening. For your time, it is good evening. For people who are tuning in from UK and Europe, good afternoon to you. Parishit Khanna, always vigilant, always active, always rubbing on mentor's energy, finding every possible way to learn and get better. Sangeeta is here. Good to see you here, Sangeeta. Sangeeta is tuning in from Bristol. I have a very funny story about Bristol. Not about the city, but about my experience, I think I will share it today. Vintal is here. Vintal, sorry, my apologies. Vinti Vasundhara. She is from Sydney. She found us on Business Mastery, Tony Robbins group, and I think she's enjoying her, videos. Sandeep Negi is here. Sandeep, good to see you here. I saw you send me a friend request on my other profile. We are enough being friends in one profile, Sandeep. That's enough for this lifetime. You're always close to my heart. You will always find me, ever you want to get an access to me. And by the way, sometimes if you get a message on Facebook and if you realize, doesn't feels like Amandeep, then that's true. It's not me. Maybe my team, is replying on my behalf. They have access to my profiles pretty much, and they do their best to communicate in the way I communicate. But having said that, sometimes it may not be the communication I want to send to you, and you may sense that from the energy. But it's okay. That's not me. Shivashis Tripathi is here. Good to see you, Shivashis. Shivashis is tuning in from YouTube, so you become a special YouTube subscriber for us. Our YouTube channel is growing. Finally, we crossed 1,000, a few days back, and our views are growing up. And we have found a creative way, to send our students there, our advanced level students who are going through this amazing journey of learning communication skills, learning how to conduct themselves in front of a group, learning how to give testimonials and receive testimonials. That's something which I have ignored for many years of my life. I would never interfere and said, what, this could have been done better. The same emotions can be expressed in a slightly different way. I've overlooked it. I thought, let's just go with the flow, but I don't think that's a good strategy. You must know how to receive testimonials. You must know how to give testimonial, because that's a $1 billion strategy, especially if you are a teacher, if you are in a training industry. If you do something similar to what I do, inspire people, motivate them, teach them. So if you are tuning in from on YouTube right now, please remember to subscribe our channel and press on the bell icon so that you can be updated with all the latest videos, which we are uploading on our YouTube channel every single week. Manzoor is here. Good to see you here, Manzoor. I hope you are investing in your learning and your growth. I haven't seen you for a long time, and the only thing I can say that come back to the training room. Yeah. I want to say this, you have never ever done any advanced course with us, so you don't have any idea, what students go through. You have just been part of the previews and those teasers. I recommend, you come to one of the advanced courses. Rajat Soni is here. Rajat works with kids and teenagers. Good to see you here, Rajat. There's another Rajat here, Rajat Karan, and Jyoti Sharma is here. Jyoti Sharma is in direct selling and direct network marketing, and I think she also does something at the side. I saw her first time in Crown Plaza at the Sales Mastery program. Awesome, guys. So, what do I want to share today? What I want to share, and yeah, I'm just collecting my thoughts here right now. I will share a story about Bristol. Then I'll share what I have to share today. In year 2000, I relocated. From my village in Punjab in district Sangrur, which is kind of 40 miles from a place called Ludhiana, which is more popular compared to Sangrur. I went to Delhi, for further studies, and God bless my cousin, who actually is also the reason for me to be in the UK. My uncle, one of my uncle came here in 60s. He served in the British Army, and they found a way, to come to the UK. And this cousin of mine, who was almost like a father figure, invited me to Delhi because he was attending a wedding, a royal wedding, in a hotel called Bristol. The Bristol Hotel in Gurgaon was newly opened up that time. I'm talking about 1999, end of 1999. And I've got a lot of funny stories, of that hotel. When you don't understand English and at that level, or if you're too scared or shy or introvert, you don't want to ask the waiters who speak so affluent good English. You just pick up and eat whatever you can eat, and you almost go hungry, in a five-star hotel with so much of food, laid out on the table, because you're too scared to approach the waiter or to the table, and you don't know what the hell they're going to ask you, because the waiters also speak very good English in five-star hotels. I'm not going to go into the depth of the story, but yeah, I had some funny situations where I was hiding. I was doing my best to not be seen by people, because uh, I was really shy in that space in that year, 1999. I picked up something, which was I was not supposed to pick up, and yeah, let's come back to what I have to share today, what value I have to give you today. And I'm teaching a bunch of 36 students right now, and they're going through a phenomenal journey of learning public speaking at a world class level, at an international level, at a level where they can decode what a trainer like Tony Robbins is doing on stage, or T. Harv Eker, or Mark Victor Hansen, or Gary Vee, or Dan Lok, or you name any big trainers, they are actually pretty much applying some of the techniques, of being on stage, or how they conduct themselves, in front of audience. How do they engage the audience? What is the method? What is the code to manifest involvement, with your students while you are on stage with maybe a few hundred students, few thousand students. I think the template is pretty much same. The techniques are pretty much same. And I was reflecting, and I was going a little deeper as to all these students, who have joined to become great public speakers, and they are all, very good speakers in their own rights, and they are doing their videos, they're projecting themselves. Manish, Sangeeta, Sandeep, Parishad, Samir, Bhupati, Tarun, Rohit, Neelam, Poonam, Shruti, Kritika, the youngest in our group. Yeah, you have pressure, when you take names of your students, because if they are listening to the video, they're going like, oh, is he going to take my name? It's very difficult to remember 36 names. That's the honest truth, But having said that, I remember all these names because you have been showing up, you've been doing the homework, you've been doing the action steps, you have been putting your videos, on the exclusive group we have for all these great students. So coming back, I was reflecting deep, and I went back to my past, because that's the best way to teach. You go back to your old self, and you think, how did I, how I used to think that way, or what was, my biggest kind of motivation, or biggest inspiration, or biggest let's say desire, or maybe biggest reason to become a speaker. Well, the truth is, I was there as where some of my students are right now, and there's nothing wrong with it. That's where you start. That's how you project. That's how you move forward. But then you find yourself, on this journey. I found myself on this journey, and I heard my mentor say, it's not about the destination; it's about the charm of being on the journey. I thought I understood it. I thought, yeah, I know what he's saying. But I think I really did not understand the depth of it until I arrived, after 11 years of speaking, teaching, and being on numerous stages, from a group size of, let's say, 10 people. Yeah, I had 10 people, once I went to a program. I think there were only 8 or 7 or 8 people there at that program. All the way, to 5,000 people when I shared the stage with Jordan Belfort at the Excel Center. I did start. I'm doing my best, to keep eye contact on the laptop camera, and sometimes, on the phone camera, which is just a few inches above, my laptop. I don't want the Instagram people to feel missed out. And I hope, my students observing me, that when you do not look into the camera, which I'm doing right now, which is my Mac camera, and I will shift now my look, from this camera to this camera. Can you see how deeper the connection is? How deep it goes. It seems like the speaker or the presenter or the communicator is speaking to me personally. And that's what you got to do, as a great orator, as a great communicator, as a great speaker, as a great trainer, as a great teacher. Why do I say so many words, for pretty much the same thing? Because sometimes people get caught up in the word, and then they make their own meanings. So coming back, yes, I did start, with the idea of becoming very famous. That's the truth. And one of the biggest reasons, maybe I wanted to become a speaker, trainer, coach 11, 12 years back. 13 years back, I made the decision. For those of you who have heard my story at any of my live events, I went to Tony's event, Unleash the Power Within, had a major breakthrough on the third day. Tony kind of helped me to fall in love for the person I am, let go of, the conflict I had as a mixed identity of not being pure enough as a human being, because I'm a mixed child. A big part of me is Bengali, and a bigger part of me is Punjabi. Yeah, it's very strange. You get discriminated, from your own people within your own country. What a country we live in. That's why it's called Incredible India. Discrimination is everywhere. Racism is everywhere. I'm not saying, that you should accept it, and I'm not saying, that it is good to do or okay to do, but just that that's the way the world is designed. The world outside is unfair. You just have to find a way to maneuver your way and be kind and be nice, and find a way to empower yourself so that you can empower others. The biggest empowerment you can do or have is to empower yourself. When you do that, you can empower others. You cannot give something you don't have. You can only give the things you have. So coming back, yeah, most students, most aspiring trainers, they start from this place of getting fame. Oh, I will be popular. I'll be famous. There'll be thousands of people following me. And that's what we do, isn't it? We check the Facebook page. I used to check every minute, maybe, when I started, how many likes did I get? Oh, how many, followers are there now for me? And then Instagram is pretty new, so I have not been very active on Instagram. My team have been looking after Instagram for a long time. I've finally started taking interest in the last 2 months. I've got time, I'll be honest, I did not have time to run a family, to take care of parents, to look after, your relatives, your friends, because they rely on you for energy. And when you become this figure, where people rely on you for inspiration, then you get massively busy. You get calls and messages, from all different angles. And then you have to find a way to filter, and only work with the sincere students, because a lot of a lot of students, who say they want to learn, they want to get better, but when it comes to taking the action. So coming back, yeah, fame is not bad, it's good. It's a good, let's say, motivation, because it's external influence, for you to be doing something great in life. But you have to understand, fame is just a byproduct of you being on stage. If you're on stage, you can't help it, but you are the center of attraction, because you are in the front. Even if it's 10 people, all the 10 people are looking at you. So by default, you're getting so much of, attraction from the people who are in front of you, maybe 10, 15. I mean, I don't know if you have ever been to, a stage with 5,000 people, 4,000 people. That's a different buzz, seriously. The stage is huge. And it's tiring, when you walk from one end to another end to get a book or a workbook. I didn't realize until I went onto that big stage. It's a huge stage. If I walk, in terms of energy dynamics of doing something, of the past to all the way from this side to that side, it's a walk. It's like good 20 steps. um, so coming back, yeah, you will get fame, it's a byproduct. But if that's what you only want, then I think, you are, my friend, completely mistaken. If you I'm not saying there's nothing. I'm not saying it's wrong to start from that place, because you're young, let's say, or you see other trainers go up on stage and mesmerize the audience. I think, you know what, and you think, oh, I want some of that. I had that, when I did the Amway meeting. That's the first, like glimpse of what a trainer does. In 1998, when I attended, an Amway meeting, which was conducted by Dr. Bratch, who became the first diamond for Amway business. That's how I was opened up to the whole idea of personal development. If you have heard my story, you can relate to this. If you haven't, then I recommend, you go to my YouTube channel. It's a 16 minutes, story which I'm sharing at a live event in London. Watch it. So coming back, he mesmerized me, and I had this feeling, I would like to become famous as well, like as he is right now on stage. I started there, but then as my journey kept unfolding, I realized that I really have to come from a place to serve others. And when I shift my focus, yeah, listen carefully, everybody, pay attention. I'm sharing something very, very powerful. When you shift your focus, from being famous, from being the center of attraction, to the people in front of you, and you want to serve them, you want to make them better, you want to suspend their disbelief, you want to infuse empowerment into them, you want to infuse inspiration into them, you want them to go through a journey, play a game, do an exercise, so that they can find their passion, their purpose, their bigger goals in life, how to stick to the goals, how to be more disciplined, how to break the limiting beliefs, or break their fears they have by a firework, by a glass walk. If you come from that place, to serve them at the level they have never been served, to touch them so deep that they have never touched themselves, maybe emotionally. And that's the time, when you become a true teacher, or a true trainer, or a true speaker, or a true giver. And when you do that, fame will come by default, by as a byproduct. When you raise your game, I think money will come as a byproduct of that. I think I understood that a few years back when my mentors used to say that, but I really understand, the depth of it right now. So coming back, shift your focus, from me, to others, to them, to come from a place of giving. And I'm not saying, burn yourself in the process of giving. Don't, sell your house and your wife and your kids to serve others. No, that's wrong. You got to protect, your family, your basic income, your house, all that has to be done. But give, as much as you can, while protecting, your basics. Because when you truly give, it actually fulfills one of your biggest needs. We have 4 basic needs, and then we have 2 fulfilling needs, and one of them is contribution. When you truly contribute, with your time, with your intention, and you serve people at a higher level, you become the true leader. If you go into the word leader, I mean, if you find the source of the word leader, it comes from a Latin word, which suggests, that a servant, a big servant, who's willing to serve people at a highest level. That's what makes you a true leader. Yeah, I'm looking at some notes today now, because I just go all over the place sometimes, being in the flow. If you know anybody, who is going through depression, then this is a simple remedy, which will give them magical results. Ask them to do something for somebody else if they are in that level of depression, because if it goes acute, then it becomes suicidal, let's say. But if they're at a level, where they have, maybe, I don't know, I can't put it in a scale, but if they have any kind of depression from low to high, only request I have for them is to go and serve somebody. When you serve someone, and when you focus on somebody else's problem, your problems go away. And that's why, what, we have a beautiful song in Hindi language, jab maine sabka gam dekha to mera gam kam ho gaya. That's the truth. When you shift your focus from your problem challenges, whatever, me to them, serving others their problem, fixing their problems, your depression goes away. That's one of the biggest remedy, I can literally share from my experience of working with students for the last 11 years, that when I have been able to shift their focus from them all the time to others, and to serve them, the depression pretty much goes away, pretty much. Yeah, I also had a realization. I was listening to one of the teachers, digital marketer, and he was talking about fake gurus, and he was talking about real mentors who serve people at a higher level. And he's pointed out something very powerful, which I did. I am not very proud of that. Maybe many years back, I was given this training from one marketing company, that you should claim yourself to be the number one in something. And yeah, we designed a 3-letter word, called MET, mind empowering technology. And we do that pretty much. We bring NLP EFT, hypnosis, games, simulation, exercises, during our live events to trigger all five senses, so that transformation can happen at a deeper level. That's why, my students who come to my advanced courses, they get shaken up at very different levels. If you've been to my training, live training, if you've played any games with me, you know how deep it goes, from music to lighting to costumes, and you think, what, you understand the game? No, I mean, you have no idea what that game is about. And that's why most students, who've been through our advanced courses, we take an oath, you're not allowed to share what those games are about, because if those your contacts who come into our live event later on, if you give it out in just like few words, you will lose the essence of it. So you're not supposed to tell what exactly the game is about, so that they can have their own learning. So coming back, yeah, they were talking about this number one thing, yeah, which I created, and I am actually number one, in MET. But does it serve me? I don't think so. So rather than claiming to be number one, I think you can use words like I'm the leading guy who does this or whatever. But it's all about serving others. I hope I'm making my point clear here, that if you are a teacher, trainer, speaker, coach, then come from a place of serving others. And when you do that, I think fame will come, clappings will come, millions of views or hundreds and thousands of views on your YouTube channel, or your Instagram followers, or whatever will increase. Your TikTok followers, which is obviously the hottest topic right now. And yeah, even this teacher was saying something very powerful, which we always have not encashed on at all. But we should think, we should encash, oh, there's a hot trend going on, some hashtag. So do a video, and relate it back to that hashtag. I don't think it's going to work, your topic, you have a certain kind of crowd, or let's say tribe, who wants to follow you, and they want to get, their communication improved. Let's say if they want to go with me. And by the way, you may not realize, communication is a must for people, because you're always communicating. If you're not communicating externally, like the way I'm communicating with you guys right now, you're communicating with yourself. And when your inner dialogue gets better, when your inner communication is at a high quality, your life would have a high quality. The quality of your life is based on the quality of communication you do, both more inside and then outside. So it's a must skill to have. This is something I have improved in my life for the last 13, 14 years. I was not born this way. Sometimes people look at me and they go like, wow, man, you're a great communicator. You got a great voice. You got a great presence. You got confidence inside you. I don't know. If you would have met me 15, 16 years back, you would be completely shocked and surprised to what I'm doing right now, on this camera. Yeah, that's the truth. My school and college friends, well, I have not been to a regular college, so I hardly have any college friends. But my school friends, can vouch and say, what, I have never seen this guy ever be on stage or do something like that. We don't know how the hell he does it now. Yeah, I met, one of my school friends, Uday, in Delhi, just last year. He was in Delhi. He came from Calcutta, and I was happened to be in Delhi at the same time. He messaged me. We met, and the time was short, so we drove together. Like obviously not me personally, but we took a cab to go to the airport and spend some time. And his question, was very surprising. I could see it in his eyes. He said, and again, my name was Jameer. That was my school name. I've officially changed my name. If you don't know, okay. So obviously he knows me as a old name, and he asked me. He said, Jameer, bhai, क्या किया तुमने यार? तुम इतने बदल कैसे गए? क्या हुआ तुमको? मतलब क्या तुमने मतलब? And he was not able to put the question, but I could see the surprise in his eyes. And I said, Uday bhai, कुछ नहीं किया यार, बस सीखते चले गए और मेंटर्स को फॉलो करते चले गए और धीरे धीरे बनते चले गए जो आज हमें. Obviously he's very proud, he's very happy. He said, कमाल हो गया यार, कमाल हो गया. मतलब, I mean, we are very proud, of what you've become. Yeah, make your story worth telling, and work on your craft. Andrew is here. Hi, Andrew. Good to see you here. He's saying hello from Toronto. We have crewed a lot of events together. So yeah, we got great memories. Sangeeta is sharing something. It's about being authentic. Yes, it is all about being authentic. People not only hear and listen to your verbal communication, they hear and sense, the non-verbal communication. Yes, they do. That's the truth. My friend Gil is here. He's a Russian partner of Success Resources and a beautiful friend, known each other for a few years. He has seen my journey, both in and out from the office and outside the office. And so, yeah, thank you for being here and encouraging me. He's always supporting me and encouraging me. And you get a lot of great people on this journey. If you're truly committed to your dhamma, to your mission in life, people will come and contribute, in many special ways. It's just not about giving money, it's also about giving a lot of time at times. Sirpa is here. Hi, Sirpa. Good to see you here. And that's what happens, when you go live. And this is what Gil told me, the other day. He called me up and he said, if you go live 3 times a week, within 3 to 6 months, that's a research suggesting that your income can increase by 3 times, depending on if that's what you do as a trainer, coach, or a speaker. Anuj Khandelwal, sir, I'm not able to do work consistently and stuck with another thing which is unrelevant. So please answer me. Anuj, I would love to answer that question. And if Team Brilliance, you're listening, because Akansha, uh, uh, Kavita, Hina, and we have got 2 new joinees now, Palak or Ujjwal. If you guys are listening, then take this question up. I will like to answer it at ease, at pace. So Anuj, join me, the next live. I think if I'm not wrong, it probably would be tomorrow or day after. Keep a check. We will update. Surya is here. I am glad, Surya. You send me a WhatsApp message, my brother. I think I haven't been able to reply, but I'm replying on a public platform. But obviously, taking up other people's time. I love your newfound confidence. Keep projecting. Keep inspiring. It's okay. Surinder Kukkar is here from Abhor, one of my housemates. Great. So, guys, that's all I have to share today. That shift your focus from you to serving others. When you serve people at a very high level, you touch them so deep that they have never been touched emotionally, let's say, and their life shifts and change. They can't help but send you blessings. And I just want to say, that if ever unknowingly I have offended you, or have pushed you a bit more, or let's say, what you thought, my communication was touch something, let's say was emotional for you, then understand, that it was never my intention to diminish your presence or to insult you or to say, what, you're not taking enough steps and actions. It was just that, I thought in the moment I want to serve you by pushing you, and so that you can see a bigger self of you, which I can see for you. That was only my intention was. If you guys enjoy my live sessions, and if you think you're able to get value, the only request I have, that help us to reach more people. Share our live sessions. Do a watch party. Something I discovered recently. Yeah, I mean, sometimes things are in front of you, but you don't know. You don't know. You don't know. That's the truth. I'm an IT graduate, but the least tech savvy guy. When it comes to technology, I'm looking into the Instagram as well. So if you are getting inspired, if you find value in what I share, then help us to reach out more people, share our videos, subscribe to our channel, and follow us. And just want to say, guys, it's been a pleasure to have you guys here on this live session, as we keep an intention to keep it for 30 minutes. So I am pretty much on time. I just want to say, thank you for being here. I love you all. And I will prove it, through my actions, by serving you, by inspiring you, by empowering you. And remember, talent is a very overrated word. We are all born talented. Otherwise, we won't be here on planet Earth. If you're alive, if you're breathing, you are talented. That's the truth. The only thing you require to go to the next level, if you have a next level which you plan to do, whatever that definition of success is for you, or whatever that definition of next level for you, remember that every master was once a disaster. You are only few thousand hours and few years away from your masterpiece. Find somebody to work with. Find a mentor, and they will craft a masterpiece out of you. That's what my mentors did for me, and that's what I'm paying it forward by sharing it with the world. Stay blessed. And the 13th, June, we have a webinar, and it's at a time where people can tune in from any part of the world, or pretty much most countries, because it's in the morning. It's my first time of doing a morning webinar in 3 months' time. I have done a lot of morning events, for Tony and for myself. But 10:30 UK time, which is 3 p.m. Indian time, and somebody was telling me it is, I think, 7:30 p.m. Australian time. So tune in and join me for 2 hours. Give me your undivided attention, and I can show you a formula, a template, a technique by which you can monetize your experience, your knowledge, your story, something you're passionate about, or something you feel about, something which is your purpose. I will share that during the webinar. So I will see some of you on the webinar, and I will see some of you at the live event, a live session when I do. I don't know, maybe tomorrow, day after. You will get a intimation or update. Stay blessed. Lots of love. Bye. Instagram people, you have to wait because I have to first end my broadcast here, and then I will end it, on the phone here. Bye.